Hello there everyone and welcome to week 7. In this video I'll be going through the introduction to the 2 programming assignments that you have this week. So let's look at them. Our first one, you work for a retail store that wants to increase sales on Tuesday and Wednesday, which are the store's slowest sale days. Write a defining table and then a program that takes a customer's subtotal as input, and if the subtotal is greater than 50, and today is Tuesday or Wednesday, subtract 10% from the total. Your program should then compute and output the total amount due by adding sales tax of 6% to the subtotal. Within your program, use this JavaScript code that will get the current day of the week from your computer's clock. Nice. If you use the code above, the variable day of week will hold 0 if it's Sunday, 1 if it's Tuesday, and so on. All right, so let's do a defining table first. Okay, it says write a defining table. Let's start there. All right, it takes a customer's subtotal as input. So that looks like our only input. We just have the customer subtotal as our input. Okay, so I guess I should start a new program over here. So here's my template. I'm going to make a new file and paste it and save it as week 7, assignment 1. All right, so we're going to call this week 7, assignment 1. All right, so we need the customer's subtotal. This is before tax, you guys. Let's split these so we can see them both as input. And then, so that's it for our input, just that. Our output is going to be their actual total. And then our processing, okay, we're going to have to get the day of the week. Check if the day of the week is a sales day. If it is, then subtract 10%. Let's see what else. Ooh. Check if the day is greater than, and subtotal is greater than 50. All right, that's what it's saying. If the subtotal is greater than $50 and today is Tuesday or Wednesday, subtract 10% from the subtotal. Program should then compute. Okay, and then after all this, regardless of that, regardless of whether they got a discount, we need to add 6% sales tax to our subtotal to get our total. Okay, so there's our defining table. In here, obviously, I'm going to change this name of the function, so I'm going to hit Control D to get both of those, and I'll say calculate total. Okay, we'll have our input here. Right here for our ID of our input, I'll just say subtotal. And I'll leave a placeholder right here that says, please enter your subtotal. Okay. Let's run this, make sure it's looking okay for now. Please enter your subtotal. If I had 50 bucks, run our function. That happened, okay, which is just a placeholder, this nice little message thing popping up. We can remove this paragraph. Run function should say calculate total or something similar. Okay, and then we'll call our function. So we have our input, we'll have our processing, and then we'll have our output. Okay, and then inside this processing, that's where we're going to use that function that they gave us to check the day of the week. Check if that day of the week is a sales day, and if they have at least $50 worth of purchasing as for their subtotal, then subtract 10%. That actually sounds kind of confusing, but we'll deal with that in our next video. Okay, we're going to take 10% off. All right, and then we'll add 6% for our sales tax. Okay, so that is enough to get us started here, I think. Let's look at our next one. Write a defining table and then a program that determines if you can sleep in or not. Your program should get all its input from your computer's clock. All right, let's start this real quick. Okay, we just heard that we're not going to have any input, so let's write that down. Temp, put this in the right spot. Okay, this is going to be week 7, assignment 2. Defining table input, none. Okay, our processing, what are we going to have to do? On all weekdays, Monday through Friday, that are not holidays, your program should output get up. Okay, so I need to get the day of the week to make sure, that we're getting up on weekdays. Okay, if not holiday and weekday, get up. Else, sleep in. That's what I'm guessing it's going to say. Okay, or else it should output sleep in. The three holidays that we must check for are New Year's, Independence Day, and Christmas. All right, so let's copy these. We'll say check for holidays. These are our three. Okay. So if not holiday and weekday, get up. So we're gonna have to check for these holidays probably up here. Um, there's a number of ways you could do it. You could assign this up here if you wanted to, and then if it's a holiday, you could make sure you sleep in no matter what. Or you could just have a little bit lengthier if statement that checks to see if it's one of your holidays and a weekday, and so forth. Okay. Within your program, use this JavaScript code that will get the current month, current day of the month, and current day of the week from your computer's clock. Okay, that's nice. Since it's here, let's just throw it into our processing. Okay, that's going to be our output, and we don't have any input. Okay, template function, I'm going to hit Control D to get both of these and rename this to sleep or not to sleep. Okay, and then we'll just put this here, say, can I sleep in? We don't need the header or the input or the breaks or that paragraph. We just need an output div to say yes or no. Okay, so let's copy this file path and run it. Make sure that this is running a little bit. Can I sleep in? Output text. Again, my little template file thing here. Okay, so let's look here, make sure we have enough to kind of get you started. The variable month will hold 0 if it's January and 11 if December. Variable day of month will hold 1 for the first day of the month up to 31. All right. So in our processing, we get these so that we can use them, and then we'll just check. We'll say, okay, one way that you might want to do this is, you know, you could have an if statement that will check for each holiday. Be like, if it's Christmas, sleep in. If it's New Year's, sleep in. If it's July 4th, sleep in. And then you could be like, if it's a day of the week, sleep in, and then just have everything else be false or something like that. But again, there's lots of ways that you could do this. So I'm going to end this video and leave it at this for our introductions to these assignments, and we'll finish them later on. Thanks for watching.